Hi, I'm Steve Sireci from the University of Massachusetts Amherst, and I'm so happy to be here to celebrate the release of the Handbook for Assessment in the Service of Learning, Volume 2, which is called Reconceptualizing Assessment to Serve Learners. And the story behind this book is I met Ed Gordon in 1999. We were doing some planning for the NCME conference. And if you ask me how meeting Ed Gordon really changed my life, both professionally and personally, I would say read this book because volume two of the handbook really talks about that reconceptualization. And for me, talking to the professor about how assessments can actually be used to support learning, to serve learners, was very different because most of my career was about how can we build, the best test and equate it and make sure it's the same over time and so forth. And really, most of the tests I've been involved with were to measure how well somebody knew something, the product of learning. But to use assessments for learning, that was kind of a new idea for me. And it really has changed my trajectory, has changed the way I've thought. And now we're starting to change the way a lot of other people think too. And that's really the purpose of this handbook. So when Ed and I started planning and brought the other editors on, I'm really grateful for all the editors who've contributed to this. For volume two, we approached 20 authors, all volunteers who weren't paid, and some of the biggest names in the field who are really thinking about, how can we create assessments that think about the unique characteristics of all learners, that provide the type of information that's actually going to help learning. So there's too many authors to mention, but I'm really grateful for everyone for volunteering their time. I'm really grateful to UMass Libraries Press for making this open source and free for everybody. So this particular volume talks about game-based assessment, culturally responsive assessment, personalized assessment, different types of assessment like portfolios. So I really encourage everyone to read it because what we have now is a roadmap for how to think differently about assessment and how to use assessment to serve learners. And I'm really proud of all the chapters in this volume and encourage everyone to download the volume, read the chapters, and not just read them, but act on them. Because as the professor has talked for years, and as these chapters in this volume show, we can actually use assessments to help learners learn. Thank you very much. Enjoy the book.